G'day guys and welcome back to another episode of Terrain. We are here Sunday morning and we are going to get back into this patrol. This build's continuing to evolve and change, and I'm every time I do something on it, I think of little things that I want to kind of amend or do a bit different. Being able to do a build this slow has just given me time to kind of think about things and refine things. So I'm really excited about what we have planned and what's coming up for this build. I want to start off by saying a massive thank you to all the guys that have subscribed to the channel lately and that are commenting and encouraging me. I really appreciate that, guys. It means a lot and it really helps me with motivation to keep filming this stuff. I also want to say that we have a couple of sponsors that are coming on board. I want to start off by saying one that's kind of locked in, Beeline Auto. These guys have just reached out recently, and for those that haven't seen, I'll leave a little link in the corner. I just did a review on some car chassis stands. Seems like a trivial thing, but I've been looking for a really good set of chassis stands that had enough height and enough load rating. And when you're doing it at home and you don't have a hoist and you don't have some of the bigger tools in the workshop, you know, things like that are really important to find something that's really strong, and also to find something that's kind of like budget friendly as well, that's not going to cost you the earth. So I put out this video, they saw it and reached out to me and they want to jump on board on this channel, which is really cool. I'm super excited. They have 3 stores, Ballina, Byron and Mullumbimby. They're all passionate guys about 4-wheel driving or car racing or motorbike riding, and they're not just working in the industry, but they are living the industry outside of their work life. And so I want to just say a massive shout out to Beeline Auto. Thank you for coming on board. I'm really excited for the things that we're going to be able to do together. So if you are local to this area, you know, support the companies that support this channel, because without them and without people getting on board, it makes this stuff really hard to do. So I'm just extremely thankful for them. Today, I'm really hoping that this is the last teardown video of the patrol. I'm hoping by the end of the day, we're actually going to be finished with the teardown and we can start building it up. A couple of key things that I really want to do. I've got basically everything undone. If you've checked last episode, the fuel tank out. I've got a few more things off the car on the headlights and the grille. And the main things I want to do now is I've got to get the sub tank out. I want to get all the trans cooler lines, the fuel lines. There's a couple of other cables and stuff like that running down the chassis. I want to rip all of that out, and then I want to get into this engine bay and start ripping out the engine bay. I do want to spray the engine bay and the car eventually. The idea is to get rid of as much as I can, leaving possibly a few things in there. But yeah, where we're up to today is I just want to get the rest of the car gutted out. I'm still umming and ahhing whether I actually drop the chassis out from underneath the body. I have another sponsor possibly coming on board that I'm in chats with at the moment that do a whole bunch of suspension stuff, and this build could possibly go to the next level of awesomeness than I first imagined with them coming on board. As I've said, the chassis is in really good condition. It's had a rust conversion, or not a rust conversion, like a rust spray put over the whole thing in its previous life, and it's in really, really good nick. There's no rust anywhere and a few just surface rubs. So the chassis itself doesn't need much work, but I'm intending to put a long arm kit in the rear, which is going to require some more welding. I obviously want to notch the rear chassis cross brace. People know when you lift a patrol, you need to notch them out. And that might be all easy. I want to put a rear coil tower brace kit in. That's today. We're just going to get straight in. I'm going to grab a GoPro and get under there once again and time lapse the whole thing so you guys can see me pulling apart everything that we do today. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so as you can see, we've pretty much cleaned most of the stuff out on the chassis. We've just got the sub tank to pull out, sway bar links. I've taken the main fuel tank out. There's all the fuel lines on this side. You know, a big Anderson plug power cable, pull that right the way back to the engine bay. So I just pretty much want to get into this side and start pulling out all of this little sundry stuff and then work my way forward on the car, because I think I'm going to end up dropping this chassis. I have a feeling in my heart. I'm this far into it, we may as well keep on cracking along. So that's basically today, and then I want to get into the engine bay, as I was saying, and start pulling as much of that stuff as I can. I've got like the fuel filler neck and stuff like that pretty much popped out. It's ready to come out. So yeah, that's us today, guys. Let's start ripping in.
bunch of dirt out around this plug here to try and actually get it to undo. So you just got to kind of work your way around, digging, clean all the dirt out, and then you should be able to get to the little latch to undo this plug here. If you've watched long enough, you know the drill by now. It is time to do a bit of a tidy up in here, label a few things, work on kind of bringing some of this stuff back along the chassis rails and that's my labels, mate. Do you want to get fed to the snake? Yeah, didn't think so. So speaking of the snake, I'll throw a quick clip in. 2 nights ago I headed out to the chicken coop because I heard one of the chickens having a bit of a carry on. I walked in there and there was a massive python in there. So luckily it didn't get a chicken, and then yesterday, instead of working on the patrol, I put mesh in front of, cleaned up the chicken coop for them and put a whole bunch of kind of snake and vermin proof mesh over the front of it. Last night we were out at Mox's place. He's just moved to a new house. Congrats, Mox. When I got home it was like about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I thought I'll go and check out and see if Snakey's come back to get it, and this is what I found. Pretty cool. Hello, Mr. Snakey. Yeah, you go and hide, mate. You don't need to come and eat my chickens. So yeah, Mr. Python's pretty hungry. He's hunting for some food, so I don't know. He can't get the chickens now, so maybe he'll come to the house, try get me, hopefully, fingers crossed. But definitely weather's starting to warm up. Had the snake in the, coming out of the Commodore on the last episode. Had 2 big pythons in the shed the other day, and then plus this big one, so definitely plenty of snakes around, but it's awesome watching them. I love it. I think that's everything done underneath the car for the chassis, so let me just give that a bit of a clean for you, mate. Oh no, it's just your face, is that dirty? Yeah, so that's everything done underneath the Patrol. I'm going to readjust the chassis stands now to sit and hold up the body, and then I'm going to work at undoing the body mount bolts away all the way along and slowly drop down the chassis, and hopefully we got everything disconnected and it should just slowly come down, and then work out what we're going to do with it, whether we're just going to pull it forward or try and get it out to the shed to do some work on it out there. But I think we're pretty much ready to go, so give it a crack. My little friends come to help. You going to come help Dad with the car? Alright, cheers guys. Who does the old-fashioned iced coffee at home, mate? Bit of ice cream. We are almost done underneath the car now, and I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to drop this chassis. So I've got a bit of a plan on how I'm going to move around the chassis stands to try and keep everything without falling over and stuff like that. I'm going to finish my iced coffee, have a look at a few more things. I think I've got everything disconnected from the body. I've got the I don't know what it is actually. I think it is part of the sub fuel tank control module, as well as a body loom that's on a little black box. I'll show you with the GoPro in a minute, on the passenger side of the chassis. I just got to disconnect that out of the body, which should be fairly easy to do. And then I've just got the steering wheel arm to disconnect, and then I'm basically the chassis right to drop down. I think we're going to try and support the body in a few spots, get the stand set up there, and then start undoing body mounts and lower them. Suppose see what we get. Suppose we'll see what we get. so basically I've got as you can see from the other angle, this piece of timber's sitting across the front of the chassis and getting held up there. I've moved all the stands on the body here, and I've thrown it on a place where there's like, I don't know if that's going to be able to see it or not, but double thickness, just to add to rigidity so that this doesn't happen. This is what happens when you've either hit something with your slider or people try and jack their car off this little pinch here. Never going to end well. I mean, we're going to straighten that up. That's obviously happened a long time ago. Same as the back. I put a support on the back in a thicker section so it's holding the body there. Then at the back, I just re-screwed this this toe point in, and I'm lifting off the back of that with the engine crane, so that's holding onto the chassis. Pretty sure I have all of the bits and pieces undone that I need to undo. So I think I might start with just the front end, slowly start lowering that down, and we'll kind of work out what we get from here. The big camera's just about to die, so I don't know, I'm gonna try and set this up somewhere, I suppose. I'll use you as a little thing. How's this? Out of all the places I could have put this, the chassis stands are catching perfectly on the chassis just there. So I'm going to have to just lift these sides up again and just kind of re-twig them. But now I'm out of places I need another trolley jack's what I need, but it's literally done it on both of them. And this one here, perfectly caught it on the lip. Mate, you couldn't have done that if you wanted to be honest. Yeah, chassis is out. So the only downfall I have, or the next thing to work out, is because I shortened this arm, obviously the bolt's coming in here, and I could have extended it out to here, but I only had limited space before I hit this brickwork. So now it's as far down as it can go, but I'm still hanging off the ground at the back end. So I think I'm just going to work out how to probably get the trolley jack under there somewhere, take a bit of pressure off, quickly adjust this here so that it comes down further. And then I'm actually going to disassemble this stand here, take these arms off, take this arm off here, and then that way I'm basically just going to have a flat trolley bed, and I can place that underneath the chassis here, put a trolley jack back under the front down there, and then I should be able to just kind of drag on wheels the whole chassis out, and then from there we'll work out what we're going to do with it. So my options really are, I could pull it out and just put it in front of the Patrol here and work on the chassis. It would mean I would only have limited time to do it because I don't know how pumped the wife's going to be with having a whole chassis and a car sitting here. And it is going to mean that either the Commodore or the Focus is going to have to sit out in the yard. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about that in my heart, in my emotional heartstrings. Mate, I did not expect to get here today. This is absolutely amazing. I just really want to work out what to do with it. I think I want to try and use the Forester and get this thing to the back somewhere. I don't know, we're just going to have to play that by ear, but for now, let's rejig a few things. Engine crane extended down so we can sit it square on the legs, take the engine stand apart, rejig the front, and then see if we can't at least walk it to here, and then we can reassess from there, but absolutely pumped. Freaking pumped. Hells yeah. All right, the front squared up. I've taken the thing off the engine stand, and now it's just kind of bracing on some timber at the back here. So nothing left to do, guys, but try and kind of wiggle our way out and see if we can't get this chassis out. Hopefully these mounts along the way don't get hit or caught up too much on those on the chassis stands holding up the body, but no time like the present to give it a go, to be honest. Oh my goodness! Freaking what? Yes! Chassis is out! Oh my goodness! I didn't think I'd get anywhere close to this today. Man, I'm pumped. Tell you what, I've done some stuff like this in the past with shops and hoists and all the other fun stuff, man, but to One trolley jack and a couple of chassis stands. Yes! That came out so easier than I thought. Man, I'm pumped. Hells yeah. Turned down for what? Oh my goodness. Are you freaking kidding me? Look at that. Oh man. All the stands are even like still nice and square, solid as. I'm freaking rooted. What a day. Mate, it's still early too. We got the afternoon yet. Might even get the gurney out and clean all up underneath the car and start giving it a big high pressure spray. And man, I'm pumped. Yes. Freaking hell, yes. How good is that? Chassis out. Well, I don't know if this is it for this episode, but it's definitely it for this afternoon because I'm absolutely stuffed right now. But how good is this? The chassis is out. I've just got it tucked under the car at the moment there till I can bring the Forest around, and I've got a bit of a plan in the old noggin, just like I always do, to try and get this chassis out into the back shed. There's a whole bunch of cutting and welding and grinding that I need to do on the chassis as well as painting. But for now this afternoon, Bub is asleep, so don't want any noise at the moment. Let her sleep. I've packed everything up, cleaned everything up. Time to go in and have a bit of a scrub, and maybe a bit later tonight or tomorrow I'll get this chassis out into the back shed. I still need to clean a little bit of space up in the shed. But yeah, we'll do a quick little wrap up. So awesome that I ended up putting these casters on the front, because it means that the whole engine crane now can push back, forward, left, right, and it just goes nice and easy. I've just strapped the back of the chassis to the frame at the moment, so it's nice and solid on there, and just got the jack over that end. Car is sitting nicely on some stands. I'm just going to go around a bit later and just rejig. There's a couple of them. I mean, it's obviously fine. It's not going anywhere. It's solid as, but I just want to center all these back up, make sure she's all good. So, but yeah, pretty much everything clean. Just got to do a last little blowout, which I'll do once again when Bub's awake. So pretty much at the shed, I started just wire wheeling this just to get a bit of an idea of how hard or what it's going to take to bring this guy back, but I might end up doing this inside us, getting it sandblasted. I've still got to clean the diesel out and give the tank a big clean and stuff like that. That'll be another video, but that's why it's sitting out there for the moment. Yeah, pretty much need to just clean up a few ladders and chairs. There's the sub tank that I pulled out this morning. Tidy this room a bit so I can get the chassis in here. The old diff housing still kicking around, ready to get done. I've kept a whole bunch of just WD and inox, whatever I've got lying around. I give that a big hit from time to time just to make sure that nothing starts rusting or anything like that. So, and there's the front one there. So I've got a brace kit coming from that, which is really cool. I'm actually going to purchase a parts cleaner soon, I think, just while I've got all this stuff. It's going to be well worth having one, so I'm going to grab a parts cleaner soon. But yeah, I'll bring the chassis out here so we can do a whole bunch of work in it. This room's starting to get fuller and fuller and fuller, and it's feeling crazy. But I think we're getting there. This is pretty much the last of the teardown, really, so. Little freaking But yeah, that's it, guys. Mate, we are getting so close. I'm getting so excited to start building this bad beast of a machine back up. Once again, thank you so much to all the guys that have subscribed to my channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. So tired. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. The more subs I get, the more I can do to this truck. So really keen to try and, yeah, I don't even know, man. I'm wrecked again. What a massive, massive day. Super pumped. I did not expect to even be close to this. I thought I haven't got into the engine bay, which is what I did also expect to get to today. But to be honest, to get the chassis out and to where I am now is 1,000 times further than I thought I'd get. So I probably have another like hour and a half clean up in the engine bay of a few things. And then really the car is ready to receive her new motor. Other than that, heap of work gonna happen on the chassis and the diffs in the coming videos, a full restore. I'm putting long arm kit in, bracing kits. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff and really beefing up this Patrol and make it just an absolute weapon off road. So stay tuned for some really cool build videos coming up as far as like how to rebuild a diff, how to brace a diff. Yeah, I got some cool stuff coming. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you, Beeline, for coming on board. Man, I'm really keen. I'm gonna get some stuff in the shop soon from those guys, which is really awesome. Hoping this week to get in there. But yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'm tired. You're all legends. Peace.